Hope you enjoyed Sundays with Cod. I'm sure you did. I can't see how you wouldn't. And yeah, time for a little after party. So g'day to Winnie's boyfriend slash husband.
Hello.
Perfect. Frank Walker from National Tiles. Um, yeah, no, look, we're going to do sort of a little quick call today. Going to bit of lawn. I know there's been a lot of drawing at the moment, so maybe a little. I wouldn't say a break from drawing because I've been really enjoying all the drawing stuff, but just back
Oh
to
no,
lawn
yeah.
for a little bit of a palate cleanser there. I think.
Yeah,
How?
nah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
How's
no.
how's your weekend been?
Oh, it's just been fine working out on the lull,
Yeah,
trying to get stuff done around the house.
yeah, nice around the house, staying away from the hospital, all that kind of stuff.
The
Very good,
hospital.
very good.
I could never I had speech therapy when I was a kid, and I would always say it hospital. I could never say hospital.
Oh, really?
Hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't say fire truck. Like I couldn't say truck when I was a kid. Actually said
Did you say fuck?
yeah. Actually said
Were
fuck.
you one of those kids that said fire fuck?
Yeah, I was one of those kids. All right, let me get us going here. We got where is my? We want that and we want that. Have you been anything you've been particularly enjoying in this July?
I just love hanging. I've been enjoying Vast Ravioli stream because she's just been going through and watching everything because she doesn't really know that much about Joran.
Yeah, nice.
So that was cool. And then uh, I did that stream with my wife, so that was a lot of fun to show her what Joran was and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's just fun to just pop in and hang out and just listen to people. It's the same feeling like about Lorne, where it's like that one time a year where everybody just hangs out, like
Mm,
we always usually do in streams, but it's like special where we all get to hang out and laugh at this total asshole pervert shithead.
it is. It's a great time of year. So g'day to Lorne's mother, Gwen's Twink Toilet, and Sanjata MB, and Drew B, and Kel Imberg. Um, that's a new name. Apparently, Il Rig and I make listening to Taken Abroad slightly more bearable. Bearable. I mean,
Variable.
it is a shit book. Shut up. Cool. Who else we got? We got Ricardo Mercedes. And also, sorry, thank you to AsburyBrad for tonight's stream image, and also thank you to Raptor Bacon who has done the call that we'll be doing tonight. So g'day to Hey Boo, and g'day to Spencer Silvera. Hi sir, Horatio Nelson, and Weird Versions. Um, oh, that's cool. Weird Versions played that song with his band years ago, and I see
What
them.
was that song? What,
Uh,
like
go
the
go
name
with
and band?
yeah, go with the flow by Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I noticed weird that you said that you wish you could play drums. So interested to know what you play in your band. I mean, judging by the awesome music you do, I'm sure you can play just about everything. And Lord's mother, Gwen's Twink Toilet, I did receive your dinner ring. Thank you for that. I'm not ignoring you. I've just had a lot of dinner rings coming in, so I'm just working my way through them. And of course, as Joran would say, if I seem disinterested, I'm just busy.
I'm just busy. Yep.
G'day to Chris Ingram, who's finally managed to catch a stream live. Welcome. I hope it doesn't disappoint. It probably will, but I hope it
It
doesn't.
will. It will.
G'day, Jeff W. Actually, and so Chris Ingram says he's pretty new to pornography, and oh my god, I've never seen such a monster in my life. That could be the bumper sticker for pornography. I think. I think that.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly.
And g'day, Super Nostalgia, and I apologise. I didn't ask if I could do this little streams. I will get permission in future. ADD, hello. Sadface09, Yarn Queen. Hello, I haven't seen you for a while, Yarn Queen. Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while, Matt Ryan. Hello to you.
Howard
Amy,
Stern's penis, Matt Ryan.
Howard Stern's penis, Matt Ryan, exactly. Hola, Amy Ramirez. Good to see you. Mistress Joy von Floofington, hello. Legendary Owl, hello to you. Kitty Velociraptor and O'Rourke. Cool, I think we got everyone. So, we'll...
Yeah, it might be. Just speaking about Jordan, I know Clobber has Daddy Tegan on stream right now, so I'll be very interested to listen to that when we're done or tomorrow at work. But if you want to hang out and listen to some Lorne tonight, this is the place to be.
Oh, so that's still going, is it?
Last time I checked when we went live, it was going.
Okay. Cool. Sweet. All right. Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, we're just going to be talking bullshit about Lorne. So if you want to hear something interesting from Tegan and
Daddy Tegan,
Daddy Tegan, jump over there, guys. You know, always, you know, make sure you check that stuff out. Oh, and g'day to Turd Ferguson. And Amy, my vacation was excellent. Thank you very much for asking. It's nice of Amy to ask rather than, you know, people like you just giving me shit about it. So,
I cleaned the basement for you that week. It was clean. There wasn't any rat shit down there. You know, there was no mold. I like Lorne, I Febrezed the walls so it smelled nice and it was clean.
Yep. Yeah, nice. Well, yeah. Well, it was still pretty shit, but you did your best. And g'day to Philip Waller. And yeah, I love like I'm just reading Chris's
yeah, so
stuff.
am I.
Yeah, found out about Lornography about 3 months ago out of the blue. Hilariously enough, listening to Lorne waste his life is almost therapeutic. 100%. And I'd love to hear when people have just found it, and it's just like you go through the stage of what the living fuck is this? Why am I listening to this?
Mm-hmm.
And then it just worms its way into your life, and then you know it's all you listen to. It's very bizarre.
That also happened on your Jordan stream yesterday, where somebody was like, "How the fuck am I here?" Like
I loved it. Yeah, I still remember
people just
that
get
too.
recommended it.
yeah. It's like why am I here? What's going on? It's like
right,
these are questions we've all asked ourselves at one stage or the other.
Yeah, Chris. How did you find out about Lorne? Was it just recommended, or did you remember TCAP or something? Like, how did that all start for you?
Yeah, it'd be good to know. So while Chris answers that, let's crack into it. So we're just going to do a call from Raptor Bacon's channel tonight. It's called Lorne Armstrong Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah, and so it's basically Lorne is talking about the women, or the woman, or the females, however all those assholes like to say it, in his life, particularly Paula, and I think Nikki gets a mention, but yeah, it's a Debbie call, so you know it's going to be good. So
there we go.
Let's do it.
Lorne Armstrong is a fucking moron. For years, this inbred sloped cause of COVID-19 blamed his life problems on a woman named Paula. A Sega Saturn probably has a better ability to decipher reality than Lorne. He is known for having a small curved dick. Paula and Lorne were never formally a couple. It was all created in Lorne's pea brain. When he is not crying about Paula, he is typically crying about Winnie. Otherwise, he is crying into a phone to a robot about sausages. And when he is not crying, you can probably find him masturbating to Rhoda on the phone. Please arrest this man on sight or call the authorities. Join me for these intriguing and fascinating cases in tonight's edition of Unsolved Mysteries.
And you know what, like, just, you know, funny because we're talking about guys like Chris and that are just kind of new to this. That is a very good summation of Lorne. Like, if you were like, you know, that like Raptor's done very well there. That pretty much sums up Lorne. And g'day to Geometric Headdress and Josh Runesville. I'll get that right eventually. Runesville.
Do you want to take another crack at it?
No, I'm good. I can only get worse.
The whole thing stems around Paula, where when she fucked around and
fucking Paula,
and it just stuck in my head. It's like
in 1993.
Something after that.
In 1993.
No, 1995.
Oh, 1995. I'm sorry. Think about the time and space that's there between that year and this year.
We'll see it. That's what my problem is, though. It's stuck in my head that I gave her all my trust. And
why would you give all your trust to someone? Why would you give all your trust to someone?
Well, I trusted this one as dick around.
Were you in a relationship?
We wasn't in a relationship, but we were in a
Okay,
4-day
okay.
relationship.
Okay, perfect. Just like with Winnie.
Okay. I broke up with her.
Good. Yeah, she told me.
No. I told her it's temporary until she gets through rehab, and we can get back together.
Then why break
Okay.
up? It's so he says that.
I did everything I could.
It's just a temporary break.
And I didn't like doing it all, at all. So I'm not happy right now at all. I'm pretty fucking pissed off.
Why are you pissed off?
Because I fucking hurt her.
And sorry, I meant to stop it there before, but exactly right. Why did he then break up with her? Like as some kind of if she's going through rehab and you're a decent person, shouldn't you be there to support her rather than break up with her?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to be like, well, we're going to get back together, but why don't we take a break for 2 weeks? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you would take a break to determine if you would want to still be with that person. You wouldn't just pause your relationship for no reason. But then, you know that even though they would be on a break and she fucked some guy, he would be livid. In fact, funny enough, while I was on the lull today, I was listening to yours and Eel Reeg's old stream where you listened to the Jenny from Walmart call.
Mm-hmm.
And Ramona and Lauren are not together at all, but he's dictating what she can do. She can't go out on the date. Okay, she's going on the date. You can't wear anything hot or sexy. You have to look ugly for this guy. You better not sleep over. You better not kiss him. You better they weren't even together, and he was trying to make her do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the point of breaking up for a temporary period for Lauren would even do.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, it's just like, okay, you're going through rehab, so to punish you, I'm going to break up with you. I mean, not that, I mean, Lorne views it as a punishment. Most people would be like, it's a blessing. But yeah, it's just like, you sort your shit out and then come back to me. You know, Lorne doesn't have time to fuck around with that kind of shit. Like, you know, if you want to be with Lorne, you get yourself straight, and then he'll think about it, you know.
Yeah, thank you, Bunny. Fat lady clothes. That's what he said that she needs to wear.
Crazy.
Fat lady clothes.
Disgusting.
Because fat ladies can't be attractive.
And hello to Bunny and also Michael Mendoza.
I told you I didn't want to fucking hurt her.
You did the right thing, Lauren.
He just starts the tears.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't like... And also, like, he's like, oh, I didn't like doing it. Like, he's such a hero. Like, he's like, oh, there was the
I
hardest
did it for her.
thing, yeah, the hardest thing I ever had to do. Like, fuck off.
I don't care if you think that me and her don't love each other. We do. And when she's done with rehab, if she wants this, her and I get back together, there better be nobody that fucking interrupts us.
If she gets
I will
clean
go
and
off
gets
the fucking deep
healthy,
end.
I'm not worried about you. If
There's
she
not one
gets
person that will
healthy
want to fucking
and
mess with me.
sober, if she gets clean and sober and feels like she wants to deal with you, then that's her problem.
That's her problem.
That's all I want. That's why I did this. That fucking kills me. You're fucking crying.
Oh, Lord. You are pathetic.
Fucking hate this shit.
I don't do anything for the purpose of hurting her. I'm looking out for her best interest. And when she comes out on the other side of this...
I know you are, and I understand everything that you're saying. I really do.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just not happy about fucking hurting her.
And, like, bear in mind here, he is crying the same amount, the same level of tears and sobbing and that sound in his voice as he was when he was going through the chat log with Debbie, and, you know, he had the big fake, well, I think it was fake, but in any case, he had the big breakdown about, oh, you know, I hurt her, like talking about Kayla. Like, there is no difference here. this is his go-to. It's like it's just okay. I need to turn on the waterworks. So it's not just like okay, I'm going to try to hold it together. Maybe a bit of a sniff here and there. It's full crying. The same amount of his apparent realization that he traumatized and tried to rape a child.
It's just all for manipulation, and there's calls where he has to make sure they know he's crying.
Yep.
So like you'll hear him cry and he goes, you can hear me crying. Like he just gives the game away where he needs to make sure they can hear him crying, because then he thinks he can manipulate them into like, oh, it's okay, Lauren, I'm sorry, I won't fuck any other guys, stop crying, Lauren.
Exactly. And g'day Jeremy Heyman and Marie Hirsch and also Desire.
She didn't have to hear you like that.
It's Mary, not Marie.
Oh, it is too. Sorry, Mary Hirsch and Jason Spears and Sting.
Huh?
I hope she didn't have to hear you like this.
No, she didn't.
Can you
Like, thank God, somehow I kept it together.
Okay, excellent.
But I heard you threaten me before not to mess with you. So I'm telling you, don't ever threaten me again. I'm not going to be an asshole to you.
Threaten me.
I am not threatening you.
Don't you ever threaten me.
Listen, I am not going to be an asshole to you. I am not going to be an asshole to you of any kind, but I don't deserve.
Those tears have dropped pretty quick.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? He was absolutely devastated, and now he's, threatening and angry. G'day, primitive blue goo.
Appreciate being threatened by anything. I didn't do
I'm
anything
making
to
myself
anybody.
perfectly clear.
And I made myself perfectly clear, too. I'm not going to be an asshole to anybody, and I'm trying to do what's best for her.
Great.
What is he doing? He's like going through old cassette tapes or something. Why does he, like, what?
Yeah.
Hang up the phone if you're busy.
Exactly. He can never just fucking sit there and do nothing.
It fucking kills me hearing her crying.
Nah, the tears are back.
It fucking kills me. Oh, we're about to get an ad. Sorry,
Do you seriously not have an ad block on your browser?
No, I probably should though, shouldn't I?
Well, hopefully it was quick and easy.
I don't know much about all this technology stuff.
No, yeah, I mean you are like 75, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was this or just point the webcam at my screen, so.
At your dick, you mean?
I
don't feel good tonight, guys. I'm gonna put the camera down on Mr. Penis.
No, it wasn't quick. It wasn't quick. It was about 2 hours worth.
Jesus, that's what I was afraid of.
Well, I can't just hang up on her when she's crying. I can't do that.
It's probably just the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
That doesn't help anyone. It just makes everyone feel worse.
I was trying so hard to explain to her, this is to make sure that you can get through it easier without stressing me being your boyfriend.
Yeah, from what I understand, that's not a great time.
Huh?
From what I understand, that's not a great time. Being your girlfriend.
And he actually well, it isn't a good time, but he actually has some kind of awareness there of what he's like, whereas you need to go through rehab, so I'm basically going to dump you so you don't have to put up with me. And that's kind of that is true because he's controlling, manipulative, jealous, so it would be all the stuff. I mean, it'd be very hard going through rehab, doing all of the classes you need to do, doing all of, the hard work that rehab is, and every 30 minutes having this asshole blowing up your phone going, who are you fucking? How many of the doctors are you fucking right now? Like, so that would be better. But the option for Lord is just to take himself out of the situation. He doesn't see any option to go, you know what, maybe I could be a supportive boyfriend
Right.
and not do that and help her get through this. But like, no, I know me. I'm a piece of shit, so I'm just going to leave.
Yeah, it's the spirit of only for Lorne. Lorne breaking up with somebody when they're going through rehab is actually a polite, good thing. It's not for anybody. Like you said, you would want to be supportive of a partner, especially going through rehab. But for Lorne to say, okay, I'm going to break up with you so that you could go through rehab, it's kind of nice of Lorne.
Well done, Lorne.
It's not a great time.
Not on some things, it's not. And there's things that I need to work on, too.
Yeah.
I told her while she's in there working on that, I can be working on my stuff that I need to work on.
Good.
So it'd be better for both of us all the way around.
And I would love to know what Lorne thinks he needs to work on. I mean, he needs to work on plenty, but I would love to hear from him, you know. Like, if you could go back in time and ask a question, I'd go, what is that, Lorne, that you're going to be working on?
He needs to work on not allowing people to use him and thus having him go and try to fuck kids. That's what he needs to work on.
That's exactly what it would be.
What are you going to work on?
Oh, wait. Thank you, Debbie.
I thought you already agreed to that.
I did.
Didn't hear what he said. What did he say?
It's just like any other.
Hey, I'm going to go back. But yeah, Debbie's onto it as always.
What are you going to work on?
I'm not drinking.
I thought you already agreed to that.
Well, that's the only issue you've got, Lorne.
It's terms of probation.
Yeah.
Can't drink.
Like, you're going to work on doing the thing you already are not allowed to do and have told everyone you don't do. Like that is the law for him. Like, I know people that aren't registered sex offenders can drink, but that is the law for him. He might as well just have said, you know, Lorne, what are you going to work on? Not murdering people. Oh, great. That's great. Awesome. Like, thank you for doing exactly what you need to do by law. It's fucking ridiculous.
That.
Not murdering people.
I did. It's just like any other drug. It's tough sometimes. Even though I'm not a big drinker, it's still tough sometimes.
Not a big
So
drinker.
since we talked, you've had a little drinking.
He drinks a 24 rack on the weekends,
Anyway.
like by himself.
Oh.
But they're lights. They're Bud Lights, so, you know.
That's true. They're like having sex in a canoe.
They're basically water.
It's fucking close to water.
My answer.
I don't need you trying to get things against me.
I knew that was coming. I don't need to get anything against you.
Hey, g'day, Duchess of Cornwall.
I'm trying to get myself straight. So I'll be good for her.
So what are you going to do differently now? Now that you're not going to have drinking, supposedly, to fall back on, what is it that you're going to do to fill your time? And when you get stressed and when you feel like you're hanging out with your friends or your brother?
I don't ever feel like hanging out with my brother.
Okay, whatever. I'm talking about anything else.
I can work on the house.
Okay,
Work on the house, work on the wood.
Wait a minute. She asked him, like he said, so I can work on my things, as in personal things like working on not drinking. It says that the second thing he says is working on the house. That's not what he's asking you.
Exactly. Exactly. How are you going to work on not drinking? I'm going to work on the house. Like, cool. Okay, work so much that I just can't drink.
You work on my class. Use my class.
Okay.
Work on my music. I'll start doing my music again. Work on anything. Just spend time with the dog.
As the thunder roll.
Anything and everything that I can do to get myself where I need to be, so I can be better for her.
Don't you stuff just to be better for her, you know?
I want it to be better for both of us.
No, when you work on yourself and you improve your life, the people who belong there are going to be there. And so they're going to receive the benefit of you being a good person. But, you know, when you make that person the reason for your change, that's not a strong motivation at all, even though it feels like it is. Like you want to impress her, or you want to be this good person, however you want to define it, for her in the future. I mean, that's not a strong motivator. So
I want to be a good person for me too. I very much want to do it for me too.
That should be number one.
I don't like some of the turns that I've made, and I could be so much further if I would have been paid more attention.
Hang on a sec. Sorry, one of my dogs barged in on me. Getting changed.
Huh?
One of my dogs barged in me. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
You can find a better place to go.
No, she wanted to be with me.
Find a better place to go.
She's in her bedroom, I assume, getting changed. Where else would she go?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fenced-in area?
My trailer.
They don't have a fenced-in area?
My dogs are in the house right now. They hang out in the house.
What's
and they go outside when they need to.
Mine do too.
And g'day, Tracy Hamill.
Here at the dog door. So you can know as they please.
Exactly. And I walk them every day. Actually, I walk them twice a day.
From the creators of Breaking Bad comes the
Better Call Saul
crossover
comes
event
back
you've
tomorrow,
been
guys.
waiting for.
I'd like to be able to walk them every day, but not enough time to do that.
Well, that's something that
walk
you
them
can...
ever.
Not enough
What do you
time to
mean
do
you don't?
that.
Then don't get fucking dogs.
That's right, don't get dogs. But also, what is he doing that he doesn't have time to walk them? Right.
Well, he's on the phone for 12 hours. What, you know, it's not like he has a headset that he could then walk around his street with. Oh wait,
Exactly. Like, I mean, walking the dogs needs to come second to being on the phone, but he could do both. He could just go for a walk with his stupid fucking headset on.
You got to get the dog's energy out. You got to walk him. You got to take him outside and play fetch or something. A dog just can't sit in a house all day.
Yeah, and then because he'll bitch about them, you know, doing naughty shit around the house. Well, because they're fucking bored, you asshole. Like, that's
right.
what dogs do. And g'day, Lawn Sisters Monkled League.
Do then.
That's one of the things I can do, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
A lot of people walk their dogs on this road.
Good.
Not you.
Maybe you can meet a nice lady out there.
No, I'm not going to try to meet anyone. I'm waiting for her.
Okay.
I told you, I really do love her.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
I really do love her.
Oh, Lauren, what am I going to do with you?
I know it doesn't make sense to you. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because she's not a
says
fucking idiot.
He says that in the Casey video where he's like, I love you, and I know you don't understand, but I understand.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it don't make sense to you, but it makes sense to me.
You don't have to understand it, baby. And g'day to Rick Borum.
Either, but
But
she's just so special.
she's
And
so
awesome,
fucking
special and awesome because of the way we are together. Like, but like, and that's what he always does this too. It's like, oh, you know, you don't understand it, but I understand. Like, if everyone is having so much trouble understanding you, Lorne, that's your issue. Like, if what the shit you're saying can't be understood, it's because you're lying, because it doesn't make sense to normal people.
No.
You know, it's like that we just want to see each other in person. No one does that. Like,
A meeting place.
Well, you said to me that she wasn't girlfriend material right now. And you were right.
Right now. I know right now she's not. I understand it too. I hate.
And he's trying to be the great guy here. Well, I'm prepared to wait for her. I'll wait forever long. Like, that's easy to say when you're not having any other options. Like,
No.
it's not like, there's these women throwing themselves at him and he needs to go, no, Lorne, stay strong. Winnie's the one you want to be with. Disregard temptation.
Hate it, but I understand it. It still hurts.
It still works. Still fucking works.
Yeah, it can be sad and disappointing. Like, I wish it was a different way, but you can't dwell on that. Because that's just how you're feeling right now, and emotions go away. They can fade. And they, just like when you were talking about stuff that happened to you, like with Paula and, whatever in the past, you said that all of these things still hang on to you. And, the reality is that there's still going to be some emotion that you feel if you're going to think about these things. You're still going to feel sad. You're going to feel disappointed. That's not going to go away. I mean, I can think about things, from when I was a kid and be like, oh, that was really sad. And it can make you sad, but it just is a matter of what do you do now? Is that going to dictate how you act? Emotions are immediate. They happen, without even knowing that they're going to happen. And you don't have any control over that because it happens in your subconscious. But it's what your actions are what you're going to have control over. Hang on one more second, sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay. G'day, Majestic Felcor and Mandy S.
Sorry about that. These dogs. Anyway, so what I was saying is that, actions are your actions are what you have control over. And so when you allow those emotions to dictate how you're going to act, that's when you get yourself into trouble. Like, for example, I can give you an example from my own life. Like, I know that I have a wicked temper. It can be wicked. I've been like that my entire life. And it's just part of, being just being sassy or whatever. But the thing is that I know that about myself. And I know that I don't just want to pop off at someone automatically. I know that I'm going to regret that. So instead, I wait a second before I respond. And I've never been disappointed in waiting. I've never regretted that. But what I do regret is if I just go with what that emotion tells me right now, is that I'm frustrated, you pissed me off, so now you're going to have to hear about it. If I go with that, then I'm impacting somebody else's day in a negative way, and I don't need to do that.
He's not listening.
No.
Yeah, no,
I know. No, you don't.
I hate that.
But that's not an
fucking hate it.
appropriate response to what she just said. She wasn't saying that this is what you do, even though that is very much what you do. She's saying this, like, she's trying to give a tangible example, like there is stuff that Lorne needs to work on. So this is what she does with the stuff she's had to work on. She's saying that, I know I've recognised in myself that I'm quick to anger. So these are the steps I've put in place to stop that. But to say, yeah, I know, is not an appropriate response to that, and shows, just as you said, he didn't listen to fucking any of that. He just waits for his turn to talk, and he's just assumed that she is talking about him. And so rather than address either A, what she said, or if he indeed did think that she was talking about him, and go, oh, those sound like some good tips that maybe I can put in place to stop myself from doing similar. He's like, yeah, no. When can I cry again? And all this talk about, your positive steps to improve yourself isn't getting your ass down here so I can fuck you. So what are we really doing here, Debbie? Like,
I hate that I acted. some more ways I did to her.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren's always
Being so
hated the way
jealous.
he acts.
That's it. But we're not fixing it. We just hate it. I hate that I do that. Oh, and g'day to Mosaic Mama. I am back. And you're back. So double yay.
Just to find out that she wasn't lying to me about anything. She wasn't doing anything wrong.
Right.
My own insecurity that I had to work on. But now I trust her, and I don't have any worries about her.
Fucking ads are
Took
coming
a long
again,
time to build
guys.
that.
Sorry.
Introducing a groundbreaking new treatment for weight loss.
Oh,
for blokes over
groundbreaking new
27
treatment.
BMI.
I'm definitely going to get an ad blocker before next time I do this.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it
it's funny
sounds like...
because I brought that stream you did with Eel Reeg. It was also interrupted by ads like every 5 minutes.
Well, I hate it when I do that.
I fucking hate it.
that jealousy is going to be there, you know? Like, I think she told me that you got mad for she asked for a tissue from someone who happened to be a guy,
Oh
and
my
you got
God.
pissed off about
Sounds
it.
like Lauren.
Absolutely.
I don't remember getting mad about a tissue.
Okay, well,
I don't remember that one.
okay, well, she
I
said,
mean, I don't particularly recall that, but I mean, he definitely would. I mean,
Oh, there's hundreds of hours we've never heard before. So
yeah, absolutely.
this is what she's telling me, is that last night you assumed that she was going to show her vagina or something. I think you
Vagina!
heard her maybe messing around on the phone, and she thought maybe she had a problem down there while she was playing around.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
Tiffany's going strong with all the Boston stuff. She said wicked, now she said vagina. She's just going crazy with all the Boston shit.
Is vagina a Boston word?
Well, it's just that's how they flip like ER and A, it's like flipped. So vagina and it's that sound that gets flipped, or it's the ending.
Okay. I thought you were just
I-
saying you don't have vaginas
No, it's
where
just
you are.
it's just how they pronounce the word. That's
Because
all.
if that's what your girlfriend's telling you, then she's just. Oh, we don't have vaginas when he's boyfriend / husband.
Vagina.
Yeah.
And she asked for a tissue to help clean up, and you got mad because it happened to be a guy, and you assumed that, oh, she's just going to show her pussy to him.
Well, I was worried about that
Yeah, jealous.
because she's done that before.
He even admits it. Like, he's not even going to try to deny that. And he does. Like, his brain is so weird. He thinks that's reality. Like, women are just walking around flashing their pussies at everyone. Like, I don't understand. Well, I do understand why he thinks like that, but it's just crazy. Like, the world is porn to Lorne. Like,
He says in another call, you know, now that they're breaking up, he doesn't have to care he doesn't have to think whose cock is she feeling. Like, it's always that's it. What he just said, it's always what he goes after.
yeah, and I mean, it is very weird to think like that. Like, to just assume that every time, you know, you're not talking to your partner, they're fucking someone. Like, that's a weird way to think. And if you do think that, you shouldn't be in that relationship for multiple reasons. Either if you can't trust your partner to that extent, well, that's not a good relationship. And if it's not a matter of you can't trust them, but you just think that way, well, then you're toxic for them. So do the right thing and fuck off. But like, on top of that, he just always has the most disgusting way to say things. Like, it's not about saying, oh, you know, I don't have to worry about you cheating on me. It's like you say, you know, I don't have to worry about whose cock you're sucking. Like, you don't have to say it that way, but he always says it the worst way. Because it's part of his whole, I think he gets himself worked up in his little cuckold fantasy. So
Right. It's specifically what she has time to do at that moment. She's not answering. So she could probably suck his cock, but they're not having sex. So whose cock is you sucking?
Yeah, exactly. And then he'll go on and then he'll work himself up and he'll really start going all like, there's been calls there where it'll be like, massaging their cocks to make them feel special. Like, what a weird thing to say. Like, that's such a weird thing to say. And speaking of pussies, g'day, Pussy Destroyer. And Chris Cook.
Jealous.
She done it before. That's why I was upset about it.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's jealousy. It's
okay,
jealousy.
so this was yesterday.
I know. It's stuff I have to work on.
Right. And so that's why you guys needed to break up and stop this whole thing. That's why it's ridiculous. If you think about it, it's ridiculous. I understand that you think you have these feelings and she may think she has these feelings, but the reality is that they're hiding, there's something hiding there. And you guys are trying to feed things into each other that are going to support these feelings. Like, I was telling you the last time that we talked about how you're trying to make your security, your happiness, your sense of desirability, all of her responsibility to make you feel.
Yeah.
Rather than enjoying the companionship. And if there's stuff that you don't like, you know what you do, Lauren? You fucking take a walk. You don't deal with it for months. If she's teasing you about something.
What was that?
I said, hit the bricks, Lauren.
And you don't like it, then you leave. You know what you do when you stay? You make yourself her bitch.
Truth bombs.
You just don't want to believe bad things.
You don't want to believe bad things? What does that mean?
You love to believe it because then that justifies your screaming in anger.
Absolutely. You might as well said, I hate drinking then. Like, you love, that is everything you're about. And g'day to Fruit Juice.
I don't want to believe bad things about her.
But you are believing them if you're screaming about them.
I know.
But he doesn't want to.
And half the time, from what I understand and from what I gather, is the things aren't even happening. You inject them into the conversation and you start getting mad about them.
Yeah, I know. I put them there because they get in my head.
But why are they in your head?
Because something happens that automatically makes me think that something is fucked up with the whole thing. And that's where I miss your trusting.
Well, then why is that her problem to fix?
It's not her problem to fix.
Okay,
it's
but
my problem to fix.
You're making it her problem.
Then fix it. There's nothing to do with anyone else. And sorry about that. Like he's got no filter. Like he's got these thoughts come into his head, and some of the thoughts he has, like that's an issue on its own. But like anyone, like I think anyone would be lying if they said they never have, distrustful thoughts about people. Like not necessarily like he does with when he's cheating that, but you always think things. But most people have a filter which they use to go, no, that's not a that's not a rational thought, or this person's done nothing to make me suggest that would be. And you work through it. You don't just go the fuck off about it. Like it's just he just has no accountability for anything. He has had things happen to him in his life, and most of the stuff that's happened he's caused. But in any case, there are things in his life that have affected him. But rather than take accountability, go, I've caused this, or this is something I need to work on, it's just everyone else's problem. It's bullshit. And g'day, Dan, he's my man.
Because you're sitting there and you're screaming at her and forcing her to prove something to you. That's not even an issue. It doesn't even exist. And regardless of how she answers, you already have the answer in your mind, and that's what you've decided on.
Yeah. some shit I need to work on.
You know what you're like, Lauren? You're like the dog that sees its reflection in the mirror and you just bark at it.
Well, I do, but then I know exactly what you're saying when you say that, because
between that year and this year.
We'll see it. That's what my problem is, though. It's stuck in my head that I gave her all my trust. And
why would you give all your trust to someone?
Like, he just says the same things over and over. I gave her all my trust, and she seemed like someone I could trust. Like, I mean, that's what he said sitting in the chair across from Chris Hansen, for fuck's sake. Right. And he's still saying it now, like, with Debbie, who's like, this must be fucking 8 or 9 years after that. No, more than that. Well,
this would have probably been sometime in 2019, so 12 years.
12 years, and he's still saying the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Sanjata has corrected me, actually. Most people have not been denied mac and cheese and deviled eggs, so that's
true.
Yeah, that's my mistake, and I really appreciate when you guys pull me up on that, because it's easy to forget.
Why would you give all your trust to someone?
Well, I trusted that she wasn't going to dick around.
Were you in a relationship?
We wasn't in a relationship, but we were headed towards a relationship.
Okay, perfect.
Working towards a relationship. So, no. Like, you're not in a relationship.
Just like with Winnie. You weren't in a relationship with her, and you expected her to act as if she was in one with you. There's a problem.
Like, if Lorne asked someone out on a date, and by some, miracle, be it inebriation, be it just, having recently had a brick to the head or something, they agreed to go on a date. From that moment on, they would be, in his mind, they would be in a relationship. If she even talked to another guy, she'd be fucking cheating on him. Like, that's...
Would you, if there was like a GoFundMe put together where we hire an actress to go on a date with Lauren, but she has like a GoPro on her and there's like cameras set up around the restaurant, like would you fund that?
Oh, for sure.
I think that would be great. That would be amazing.
Could you imagine
like to actually
seeing him on
see
our
what
first
he would
date?
say?
Yeah. It would honestly be amazing, because I think it would be very similar to what he was like at the Sting House. He'd be, he'd be giddy and he'd be saying weird shit. He'd be like, good in you, and he'd be doing all that stuff, and it'd be amazing. Like, especially if, like, because obviously if we hired someone to go there and do it, like, they would be, quite into him and making him feel,
right.
Like it'd be, I mean, you would need to have precautions in place because you don't want to put this person in danger, but it would be very, very interesting. I want a kiss first.
Yeah,
we haven't even fucking ordered drinks, Lorne. Can I have a kiss first?
Me and Winnie were in a relationship.
Okay, go back to Paula, because this seems to be a problem for you. Go back to Paula. She was not in a relationship with you.
No, Paula wasn't.
No, but you expected her to act like she was. You expected to act.
Headed,
Lauren.
We were headed. We were headed for a relationship.
Lauren, you were acting.
That's what we were working for.
Expecting her to act as if she was in one with you. You were not in one. There was no agreement.
That's what we were working towards.
But it didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Right.
I obviously put a lot more into it than she did.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God.
Right.
But
I put a lot more into it than she did.
But by definition, he's not wrong there, because he would have put a lot more into it than she did, because she wasn't putting anything into it because she wasn't interested. So by definition, he's right there. Like, he was putting more in than her. And g'day, daft cracks.
Right, your expectation of her was way over the top.
Yeah, okay.
And Smoke Daddy.
And there's nothing wrong with that on her end either. She didn't owe anything to you.
a big problem was I never should have introduced her to my family and let her be around my family so much.
Oh,
Why?
it's
You
her
can introduce your friends to family. Why?
Because I think it just made it harder for me.
harder.
In the end, it made it harder for me.
Well, I suppose it can make it, a little bit more uncomfortable because then you have to answer to other people. If they ask where she's at. But if your answer to that is, she cheated on me, well, that's just a big pile of bullshit. She didn't cheat on you.
You weren't in a relationship.
She wound up going back to Alaska, and she come back to visit 2 years later, and she had thoughts of getting married to me in her head.
Well, then.
Oh my God.
Bullshit.
She had thoughts of it in her head.
Like, I don't. Like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And yes, I'm aware that this is a lie. That doesn't makes any sense. But even if you chose to give him the benefit of the doubt, even if you chose to go, okay, Lorne, they weren't in a relationship at any point. She left for 2 years and then came back, while still not being in a relationship at any point, came back with thoughts of marriage. Like, he has no concept of how relationships work and, the stages people go through. Like, no one in their right mind would just be like, we've never had a relationship, I've come back to town, let's get married. Like, that is fucking ridiculous. And g'day to 80s Girl and Rachel D.
She's fucked up too.
Yeah.
That was a fucked up idea.
I told her that weren't happening.
Oh, and...
Okay, fine.
Now,
so
he said it weren't happening. What?
That is absolutely... Okay, so...
He would take any opportunity.
Absolutely. So, furthermore, he expects us to believe this 50-year-old whatever virgin that... someone that he put all his fucking trust into and all this kind of stuff came back to him and said, Lorne, I know we've never been in a relationship, but my time in Alaska proved to me how much you mean to me. Can we get married? And he was like, no, you had your chance. You only get one chance with Lorne. Fuck off. If that was the reality, you would have lost your shit. You would have passed out. You would have woken up and you would have chained her to something before she ran away.
He craves that so much. So when he tells that bullshit lie about, when I was 18, my boss brought up marriage about his daughter and I fucking ran. Like, that's what you want. You've always wanted it. You want to be married. Like, you want that. So
Absolutely.
When he talks about, I was too young, I didn't want to be tied down. Yes, you do. Like, not that you'd be tied down. If you had the means, you would just cheat on whoever you were with. But you want, you fucking propose to people 2 days after meeting them. Like,
that's right. Like, he is all about, like, that romance, that marriage, all that. Like, that's what he wants. Like, in a lot of ways, I think that's what he wants more than sex or anything like that.
Yes.
He really craves that, which is why I love, like, I've been listening to a lot of old streams and stuff lately. Like, I've heard, multiple times people say they think Lorne would rape someone and that. Like, he 100% wouldn't. And I don't want to say anything nice for Lorne. And I'm not saying that, okay, the fact he wouldn't rape someone is a great thing. I mean, no one should be raping anyone. That's not a does not rape, great guy.
You shouldn't get
thing.
A pat on the back for not raping somebody. So,
but he wouldn't, because that's not what he's after, that someone giving themselves to him, that like real full love. Not that he would ever get that, but he would... I don't think there'd be anything in it for him, I don't think that's the way he works, which, partial credit Lorne or something, I don't know. I don't even know what exactly I'm trying to say here, but he is all about marriage. Like, anyone
it's
at
not
any
just
stage,
about the physical is what you're saying. It's
100%.
He needs that relationship.
Because we've talked quite a bit about his ED. I don't really think he could get it up for any amount of time.
No.
But it's, to suggest that this person that he pined for would come and say, let's get married, and he'd be like, no, that is craziness. That is craziness. And g'day Dustin Thomas, who said, we should get him a hooker. Like, you know what I also find really odd about Lorne and his weird value systems and that? I mean, he obviously wants to lose his virginity, which who can blame him at his age? Like,
I wish I could.
well, yeah, I know you've been trying for a long time, but you know, why wouldn't he have just got a sex worker? Like, why? Like,
Well, no, because that's beneath him.
and that's crazy.
He's cheap and he wouldn't want to pay, but he wants. It's the same thing with like Jorn. He wouldn't go out and buy a hooker because she needs to want him. That's part of it. Like, she needs to sort of chase him or be interested in him. So I don't think either of those two would go out and buy a hooker. One, it's too expensive for him, but also it's not what they look for.
Yeah, but you're right. But that to me seems crazy. I mean, he wants to lose it. I mean, because no one would need. He could say, oh, at least he'd have an actual sex story he could tell. Like,
right. So you don't believe him having sex with a one-breeded woman by a crick? Like, you don't believe that?
I do struggle to believe that, I must admit. But like, I mean, he could save up his money. He could stop drinking for a little bit. Like, this is something he really wanted, and go and get a sex, and like get like a girlfriend experience type thing. Say that's what you're interested in. That she's going to be all like, oh, I love you so much, Lorne. All that kind of shit. He would love it. Like, it'd probably solve a few of his fucking issues. I mean, not even close to half of them, but some. At least he would lose that kind of, I don't know, angst about it. But also, I feel terrible for whatever sex worker had to have sex with him. So I'm regretting suggesting this at all.
Why is she still having an impact on your life? Why are you allowing that to happen?
I don't know. I don't know why it's impacting me so hard. Just a fucking thing where
Oh, and g'day DJ Payne 1. Great to see you, and I loved your the cameo in Slothcat's latest video. That video is fantastic. And g'day Mr. C and Joel Davis.
I trusted her so much with myself. And then it just fucking blew up in my face, and
because she went with someone else.
And actually, that's what I meant to. So DJ Payne said, Lorne equates sex with love. So if a woman suddenly had second thoughts during foreplay or even before then, I can see Lorne forcing in some way, verbally or physically, but more so the former. Oh yeah, I mean, I struggle to think he would physically, but he would definitely get very manipulative about it. Like, that's like, with Kayla, like, say, all this was real and they got back to his house and Kayla started having second thoughts. I don't think he would force himself, but he would definitely start the whole, well, I guess you don't love me that much.
I guess you don't, yeah.
You know, this is what we talked about. And, we talked about that you would be nervous, but you've just got to, push through those nervousness. Like, he'd do all that kind of shit. Because
that's
at the end of the day...
sixth grade shit.
Yeah,
like,
it is sixth grade shit.
You don't love me.
But he's still, like, because that's what he would, I mean, and it's still really the same effect. Like, he's still, and especially when you're talking about a kid, it's still rape, so it's no better or worse.
Right.
But that's what he would do. He would try to manipulate his way into it. Because he would want to feel like they're there willingly.
Can you laugh because Lauren's mother Gwen's twink toilet can't pop a load without you laughing? He just popped a good one.
Well, that was like a bit of a fake laugh there. So hold
he was edging there. So okay.
So hold on. Hopefully, a real laugh will come soon.
Right?
Yeah.
No pun.
Okay,
yeah.
But you weren't in a relationship, so what's wrong with that?
Because
in your mind,
you
were.
In my mind, we were.
In your mind, exactly the problem.
Yeah.
Exactly the problem. In your mind, you were in a relationship with her, but you really weren't.
No.
I bet you, if we talked to her now in 2018 and
this
said,
is 2018?
What was it like back then?
Well, yeah, because Debbie was around in 2018.
Then this is a Casey call then, right?
Nah. No, because it
I
can't.
didn't think
It can't
so.
be.
Casey turned into Winnie like in August or September or something. It was
Yep.
like late summer, but I didn't think Debbie showed up for a while until like January 2019.
Well,
Because that's when Rhoda and that shit started.
Yeah, but see, there was kind of not two iterations of Debbie, but like Debbie kind of was there, and it was basically like, "Fuck you, Lorne. I don't want to talk to you. Just stay the fuck away from my sister."
Right.
And then they talked a bit more, but this is definitely Debbie because Winnie didn't exist in the Casey arena.
That's true.
It can't, if they're talking
This
about
time,
Winnie, which
like,
they are, it can't be Casey.
You can listen to hundreds of hours and still not fucking understand this
Oh
timeline.
yeah,
like
it's super confusing. Which I've stopped trying to go by dates because the dates on the calls are wrong as well at times.
Yeah.
So it's very confusing.
Yeah.
So I just try to go by the timeline. But yeah, it is definitely Debbie. And as Bees Knees says in G'day Bees
hey,
Knees.
Bees Knees.
And also Ari, G'day Ari. Debbie was around for an earlier part before it was, she was more involved.
Mm-hmm.
With Lauren, what did you think that you guys were together? Did you cheat on him?
Here, can you pause real quick? Yeah,
yes,
so
I
Chris,
think you're going to answer the same thing.
Yeah, Casey as in Casey Morrow. So he was originally catfished by Ramona, and when that ended, he was told that the real Casey Morrow was on his YouTube channel defending him and stuff. So he started a phone relationship with who he believed to be Casey Morrow. It turned out that Casey Morrow was somebody named Winifred, who was pretending to be her because Xavier Von Erck blackmailed her. So then Lauren started to date Wendy, who then turned into Winnie. And then during the Winnie and Debbie saga, he was told Casey was also trying. The real Casey again was in his YouTube channel. So he tried to get together with Casey again. And then most recently, he was with Casey a third time with Amy the robot. So, yeah, it's yes. But yeah,
but
Casey...
it's super confusing. But yeah, so because throughout the calls, you will hear Casey be talked about, you'll hear Wendy be talked about, you'll hear Winnie be talked about, and they are all the same person, even though they're voiced by different people. Lorne never picked up that they were voiced by different people, but the whole thing is, yes, he believed it was Casey Morrow from The Sting, and Casey had all these issues with drug addiction, sex addiction, all this kind of stuff, but then they found out that it wasn't Casey, it was someone called Winifred pretending to be her, but as a nickname, he would call her she called herself Wendy, and then Lorne cracked the shits because Wendy is also Tony's wife's name, and he hates Wendy, so he's like, I don't want to call you Wendy, so that's when it turned into Winnie. So that's why when you listen to those early calls, it'll be confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
Those
original...
three people are all the one person.
Right, it's all the same entity. Yeah, that original Casey saga gets real confusing around 3 months in because then everything sort of hits the fan with the names and stuff.
And it gets confusing too, and that's where Winnie's boyfriend / husband was a bit confused there before, is because the first iteration of Casey and some of Wendy was voiced by Tiffany Lockhart, who also voices Debbie. So she voiced that, and then when it kind of turned into Winnie, and around that time, Ember took over voicing Winnie, and that was kind of the voice of Winnie
voice we all love.
We know and love. And then
it's
later on down, so Winnie was there for probably the longest amount of time all up.
Yes.
Then later down the track,
nearly a year.
Yeah. Tiffany Lockhart comes back with this character of Debbie, who is Winnie's sister, who basically...
Half-sister, get it right.
Half-sister, sorry. And basically she talks to Lorne, and Lorne's like, I know I've heard your voice before. And it basically just takes 5 minutes of Tiffany saying, no, you haven't, for him to accept it, because that's the kind of guy he is.
I have a big suspicion that she would say we weren't together.
Yeah, she probably would say we weren't together.
Right, and that's the reality.
Because we weren't, but that, in my head, that's what we were working towards.
Okay,
let's go back.
He said it.
Let's
he
go
actually
back.
said oh man, because we weren't together.
It's crazy. And Sorry, someone else just came in. I want to say hello to. Oh, Joel Davis. G'day, Joel Davis, and good to see you too, Bees Knees.
Because we weren't, but in my head, that's what we were working towards.
Okay,
Was being
but
together.
you weren't. But you weren't.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you thought.
That would matter to me because I couldn't.
Repeat after me. Repeat after me.
I should have thought different.
Repeat after me. It doesn't matter what I thought. It wasn't real.
Why do you want me to
can't say
repeat that?
Yeah, right. That would destroy him if he had to say that.
Yeah, she wants you to repeat it to ground you in reality, motherfucker. And someone asked a question. Who was it? And 80s girl says, and does Victor live with Winnie? Yes, Victor.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to try to get something through to you. I want to try to get something through.
The relationship wasn't real because it wasn't real. That we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend.
Exactly, but you expected her to act
I never
that
asked
way.
her. I never asked her.
Okay, so then there's your problem.
I just expected that. That was my problem.
Right.
I never asked her. I just expected it.
Right.
And maybe that's why that hurt so much because I expected it, and I thought it was just a mutual agreement between us that we were together.
And it's just kind of like when you were talking about with your family and you did things for them, and you said, this is a Christmas present. And they said, okay, cool. And then you didn't get anything in return, but you thought you should get something in return.
Can you pause it?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Chris, there wasn't really a voice changer. They just tell him it was a voice changer. So nobody, their voices weren't actually changed. It's just they told him why the Casey voice was Tiffany is that Winnie was using a voice changer. But yeah, there's no actual voice changer.
I didn't. Now let me explain that. I told him if you're gonna get me something, then do this. I didn't want to go and spend a bunch of money.
Okay, but they didn't. Okay, but they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't, and that's what bothered me because I did so much for them and they didn't do anything back. So it was the thought about the whole thing is what bothers me so much. But whatever, that's in the past now. I'm over that.
Wow, really?
I'm older now.
Yeah,
You're
I'm not.
50, you fucking moron.
I'm not gonna say
like a 16-year-old saying about when they were 14. Like, I'm older now, I'm mature. Like, you're 50. Of course you're older.
Yeah. And some of the best things about these calls are Tiffany's reactions. Like really?
It doesn't bother me a little bit because it does bother me a little bit.
Just opened. I think the sky just opened.
Wait, you see some sunshine?
Yeah, angels.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that it doesn't bother me a little bit still, but because it does. But I gotta let it go. It happened, and I gotta let that go.
Perfect. Let Paula go too. Let Paula go too.
That I do need to let go.
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, okay. So Chris Ingram,
Yeah.
yes, with voice change, he meant the change from Tiffany to Ember. Yeah, he didn't pick up. So when Ember took over from Tiffany as Winnie, it's if you listen, it's a little bit of a higher voice than what the typical Winnie is. So it was almost like that helped the transition, but
it was the Rhoda basically.
Yeah,
what the Rhoda voice was is that's how Winnie started.
Yeah, and he would call that the little girl voice. He's like, "Oh, don't use the little girl voice or the or the soft voice or whatever." But he never at any point there was like, no, you sound completely different. The only time he did that was when Debbie came back in and it was like, I've talked to you before. And he was just told, no, you weren't.
I just love that. Tiffany's clear and distinctive voice as Casey, but when she wasn't available, it was just Emma hi, whispering. Yeah. And Lauren just accepted it. Yeah. And then that's why it was so much easier when it switched into Wendy and then Winnie, is it was Debbie and then it just became Emma's high-pitched voice. And then as Winnie did more drugs and fell into more depravity, her voice became that like, gravel is basically what her voice became.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking held on to that too fucking long.
Right.
I'm sick of holding on to that.
But also, you shouldn't really, like, think too much what Lauren will believe in your head. He just will believe anything. So, like, obviously us normal people would be like, well, those are clearly two different people. Lauren, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't try to rationalize what Lauren thinks a lot of the time.
Yeah, and it's a combination of things really. Like, A, he's fucking stupid. B, there is a certain part. Yeah, he's fairly deaf, and there is a certain amount of him that just subconsciously, I believe, doesn't want to look too deep behind the curtain. Like, at the end of the day, this is all he's got. So while I don't think he fully realizes they're all catfish and that, he does to an extent feel like this isn't normal, but he doesn't want to dig too deeply, because the worst thing for Lauren would be for him to kind of completely catch it fully out, and they go, you know what, you fucking pedophile? Yeah, we are, and no one's ever going to fucking call you again, because that would be...
Right. He doesn't want to be alone.
And he said, and as Gorilla Spawn said, he's deaf as salt. So he said at other times, he struggles to even pick up his own voice in things. Like, he is really fucked. And I mean, a part of that is that he really struggles to pick up his own voice when he's having, incriminating evidence played back to him. So there is a fair bit of that. And don't apologise for asking questions, Chris. It's really confusing, and I'm always more than happy to kind of pass on what I know. I mean, and there's people that know a fuckload more than me. Like, no one can ever be an expert at this, because it's like its own little universe.
Besides Kelpill, she has a doctorate in this, so if you ever see Kelpill in the stream, ask her whatever you want.
But it is very, very confusing. So you're doing well for 3 months in, man.
Good. Then I hope you can actually do it. And think about...
We probably wouldn't be together. We probably wouldn't have been together today anyway, because the way she was.
Okay,
the way she was.
Yes. And g'day, stumble, repent, repeat.
You probably wouldn't be together today anyway because of the way you are. How about that?
Thank you.
Yeah, that could be true, too.
How about that?
Yeah.
Thanks for that kick in the teeth.
You got it. I'll fix them for you.
Smart ass. Your sister, you're smart ass.
Yeah.
Oh.
She learned from me.
Oh, God.
God.
Anyway, I'm glad you have this all sorted out. Hey, by the way, I wanted to ask you, how many pages did you write since we talked?
I haven't written any.
Oh, okay.
What is she talking about?
Okay.
I don't know.
I went over to Tony's last night.
Uh-oh.
Well, because I was depressed.
I think because at some point...
Sorry, he was depressed. Like, he says it so
depressed.
Depressed.
I know at some point Debbie gets him to redo a lot of his, sex offender class homework. So potentially he's talking about that.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be... Because she said writing. At first I thought she meant, like, the chat log. But, yeah, it's most likely she is having him write shit. Or, like, Maria or somebody was having him do extra homework. And, of course, he's blowing it off, so...
Okay, so it was what I suspected.
I was depressed, and I did the wrong things and made my depression worse. So I snapped out of it today, and I just get depressed
I don't
again.
feel Lorne is like clinically depressed. I think he's heard that term before in rape class, and so he thinks if he says he's depressed, then that's a valid excuse for him to do whatever he wants. Because I think he's just too narcissistic and just crazy to feel depression. Like, I just don't feel that that's something, like, it just doesn't seem like something Lorne would ever actually feel. Because he does whatever he wants. Like, he doesn't...
Exactly. Like, it's I mean, I'm sure he gets sad about his situation, which it'd be
Sure,
ridiculous
but
if he did it. But there's a big difference between feeling sad and down about your situation than being clinically depressed.
right, yeah, he wants to use that so that he can go over Tony's. Or really, what he should say is, "I was alone, so I went over Tony's. I wasn't depressed."
And now, when I say this, I understand a lot of people, try to fight that feeling of, sadness, depression with alcohol. But I just think it's funny where he talks about being depressed, so he then goes and drinks a whole lot of beer, which is a depressant. That's very lawn. And g'day to Becca. And as Bee's Knees puts in the chat, what they're talking about is he had to keep a journal for rape class, and he used just to copy last year's. So that's what they're referring to here. So thank you for that.
I'm coming out of it.
Coming out of it.
Well, depression's going to come and go. It's going to happen. You're going to have good times and you're going to have bad times. You have to deal with them. You have to deal with them in a healthy way.
Yeah, no, I'm like doing things around here to get this stuff done before winter.
Okay. Well, it takes a lot of self-reflection. I mean, I'm not just talking about keeping your hands busy, whether you're jerking off or you're painting or building a shed. I don't know, whatever you're doing.
Well, see, the reason I say that is doing things around here is because when I do things around here, I can think at the same time, and I can do it in my own pace.
Okay.
And it makes it a lot easier to absorb things, to be able to think things through about how to go about fixing them. And
a bolt.
But I really do think that you intervening was more of a blessing than anything, because I don't know how that would have turned out if you had not, and they had let her out of there, and the court had let her off probation.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think you intervening was a blessing. It's just that I am still going to wait for her.
You can do that if you like. I hope that you don't, though.
Well, I'm going to.
Because if I can tell you my hope for you, it would be that you kind of start to release all of this garbage that you have. You've been carrying around a lot of stuff for the last several years. Whether it be Betty.
This is Maxine, a true popcorn connoisseur. In fact, he's off to catch the 3 o'clock popping right now.
The 3 o'clock.
And g'day to Shins Koala and Kingpin.
Clobber must have ended. We're getting an influx.
Trooper Grandson, Chatchabate Billy, hello to you all.
The sting. Dealing with people reaching out to you from the internet who weren't genuine. I mean, how many of these women have there been? There's probably been quite a few. Amanda James should have been clue number 1. And you'd be like, okay, there's a lesson there. Because I can understand, if you're going on the internet for the first time and you don't really know, you're just like going to these chat rooms, you don't know that somebody is telling you a story and not really who they are. You have no idea because you're telling them who you are. And so you can't imagine that it would be anything different. So I can understand that. It was a mistake and you just didn't know about it. You can't know what you don't know. So that should have been a lesson, though. That's the problem, is that it should have been a lesson. You'd be like, okay, if I go on the internet, the person I'm speaking to may not be who they're saying that they are. And I need to be careful. I need to take care of myself. I need to put certain things aside that are making me want to continue talking to this person. Like, I'm feeling lonely. I really, really want a girlfriend. I want someone who's going to be devoted just to me. I want all of that. That's what I'm imagining a relationship to be. And you're just not going to find that.
When did you send me messages?
Oh, she did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make a video.
And g'day, James Dean and Lorne's Unclimbable Ladder. Yes.
Make a video singing happy birthday to my friend Gina, please. Or leave it on my voicemail.
Oh, that would be nice.
Also, you are fucking broke my heart. I'm crying so hard. Fucking it.
Here we go.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This shit
She's
is
going to
not
be okay.
easy.
Oh, here we go.
She's going to be okay, Lauren. Do you want me to send you a popsicle and a coloring book, too? It works for her.
No.
Okay.
No.
You're welcome.
Don't tell her I read that to you. She'll be pissed.
Okay. I won't.
Well, I'm definitely going to tell her.
She probably doesn't even like the idea of me talking to you on the phone.
I'm sure that she doesn't.
Who knows?
I'm not always her favorite person. I can be a little bitchy sometimes, but it's only with her best interest. And I'm the type of person who is willing to put her left foot down so hard that she gets what I'm talking about. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not just going to be like, oh, she's going to be upset. She's going to cry.
That's one reason I think it's a good thing that you intervened, because...
See, and now you can never leave, Debbie. That's what he means. It's like, good thing you saved me and you're here for me all the time now.
Yeah, but it's like he wants, like, he had no control over this. Like, he didn't want her to intervene because he was more than happy, you know, just having Winnie to abuse and this little toxic relationship they had. But now he needs to make, like, you know, he can't say that. So now it's just turning it around like, oh, you know, I'm so glad this happened. Like, you had no control over this. This, like... It's just trying to spin it in his own favour, like, oh, you know, I'm such a big man that I can go and, you know, no, this was the right thing to happen. G'day, Dan's confused entrance, who says, what is going on here? I mean...
True to your name.
True to your name. So this is... Debbie talking to Lorne. Winnie's in rehab and Lorne has broken up with her until she gets through rehab and Lorne's crying. I mean, given your name, I'm assuming you understand.
Right. I was going to say.
So I'm not going to do the full, you know, oh, hi, welcome. You've just stumbled into one of the weirdest little universes you can find yourself.
Welcome, you dickhead.
Welcome, you dickhead.
That's so bad.
Oh,
I love it. When we pause and we unpause and he's like he's crying.
So bad.
You're going to be fine too, just like she's going to be fine.
I am going to wait for her. I told her I was going to wait for her.
You have no other options.
In that time, she can get her shit fixed, and I can get my shit fixed too. Then we'll be a lot better together.
Well, I think that you're going to be waiting a long time. And I think that you should look towards other ways of having a woman in your life. Somebody who's actually there.
And what Lorne's thinking right now is, what are you doing?
Right.
I mean, because...
Let's talk about other ways.
I know that it was briefly mentioned, but I'm not comfortable with her moving 3,000 miles away from me.
Well, I know you're not comfortable about that. I could tell that.
Okay, so...
That wasn't hard to tell.
From my perspective, that's not happening.
But that's
so my
your perspective, though.
It's my
That's your
perspective, and she'll see it.
Yes.
Right, that's you.
Yes, and as you know, the guardian of Winnie, that her perspective is pretty much all that matters, Lorne.
Right.
And Chris Ingram says, was this around the time that Lorne dumped Winnie for Debbie? No, that's a
No.
bit down the track from here. So
Yeah.
Debbie's very new onto Lorne's scene right here. So you've got to go through the whole. They talk about
Winnie's
his
just in
chat
rehab.
log. Yeah.
So.
They talk about his chat log and all this kind of stuff, and then eventually Debbie goes into the hospital by getting a swordfish through her throat. And oh, actually, no, that is wrong. Sorry, Winnie goes to the hospital, and because she has a stroke or pretends that she has a stroke, and Lorne
Right.
thinks that's the perfect time to try to fuck her sister. That's right, yeah.
Yes, and then right. So once she goes to the hospital, he and Debbie sort of start to talk more, and it's a lot more not romantic, but not just them yelling at each other like it usually is.
Yes.
Because what's funny is she gets the swordfish through the throat, and Angelo is like, I was going to ask her to marry me. And he's like very mad that he was going to ask Angelo to marry her on that boat ride. So that means that they would have already had to have been talking romantically, or else he wouldn't really have cared.
Yeah, no, that is right. So that is Winnie has the stroke, and then Lorne like goes to Winnie. Oh, do you mind if I try it with Debbie? But like Debbie never actually said that they were going to go out or anything. So then she's like, well, no, I've got.
Well, yeah, he doesn't ask that until Debbie's in the hospital also, because that's when he has the phone sex with who he believes to be Debbie, but is later revealed to be Rhoda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This is
Get
just
my way, too.
absolutely crazy.
And so will you.
When she's better, it'll be up to me and her.
It's going to be up
Not
to
up
her.
to anybody else.
She'll see it my way.
To me and her, it'll be up to me and her where we live.
Well, you don't really have much choice in that. You're stuck where you are, right?
No, I can move to any state I want to. I just have to switch probation
No, you
officers.
cannot.
Oh.
I can go wherever I want. Oh, I'm just. He acts like he's just got to give him a bit of a heads up. It's like, hey, g'day Maria. Look, yeah, g'day Maria. Look, not really enjoying Maine much anymore. I'm going to skip over to Florida. So if you could let whoever is on probation down there know that I'm coming. It's been real. Catch you later. Like that's what he thinks probation is. It's just like give him a heads up. They're sweet. Like
Right. Yep.
it's fucking crazy. Because like you say, he needs to apply for that. Needs to go through court. It needs to like it, And they're every chance of saying no because they're every chance of looking going. Although you don't have much of a support system, this is where you have the majority of your support system. So this is where you're staying. And also, this isn't fucking a Kentucky tour. We have resources in different places. You can't just skip to wherever the fuck you want.
Right.
You absolutely
like he could afford anywhere else. Like he's out in the middle of nowhere in Maine. Like he can hardly afford it there. Like what is he going to move to Nashville again, where his rent would be $2,500 a month? Like
yes, exactly. And g'day, Fexy. I see where Winnie's boyfriend and / husband and I rate on the stream scale. G'day, Bendover, and guys, Bendover is gay and he's looking for a man, so hit him up.
Okay. Well, that's another bridge for another day.
whoops.
For right now, I appreciate you breaking up with her. Don't keep dragging her through this either. About how you're hurt and you're sad.
And do you see that when his boyfriend / husband, Vex saw that my stream was on and jumped over, not you.
Well, my stream isn't fucking on, is it?
She was probably as everyone is, probably very disappointed when they got here and realised that you were on as well.
Sad, and you miss her so much, you still love her, blah, 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 blah.
Well, I'm all...
Are you right? Are you crying? Are you crying? Are you going to cry? Are you going to cry?
Well, I was thinking about just jokingly hanging up, but there's like 30 seconds left, so it's not the time for that.
I was going to tell her I love her.
Well,
I'm going to take that away from her.
just be a normal
Hard enough with what I
friend. Are you
did.
able to do that?
I'm trying to.
Okay. Perfect.
But I will never take the word I love her away from her.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord, that's
She doesn't
so
deserve
nice.
that to happen.
She doesn't deserve that.
Well, you're saying it in a loving way, like I'm in love with you kind of a way. And that's not what friends do.
No, I just told her that I love her.
All right, well, whatever.
She really is so special.
I know. Okay, why don't you go make your video?
All right.
Okay, bye.
There is only so long you can hit your head up against the wall, Tiffany, and that is that. So thank you very much, guys. This has been a lot of fun as always.
Yeah, it's been
you all
great,
there.
guys. Thanks.
Oh, now he's all sad. What I was going to say is that I would never take "I love you" away from you when he's boyfriend/husband. You don't.
No,
deserve that.
it's just what we do. We'll make up after the call, after the stream. It's fine. See, because what happens is because it's like nighttime where I live. Cornville Thruway makes me keep the phone on while I sleep because he wants to listen to me sleep. So I don't. It's fucking weird, but
you still do it, so you can't.
I
think
still
it's that
do
weird.
it. Yep.
All right, guys. Lots of fun as always. Really appreciate it. It's
Also,
been...
Vexy, I understand you were joking. It's okay. You don't have to clarify.
So if Winnie's boyfriend/husband has finished interrupting me, what I was saying is...
Also, Wes is live right now, so if you guys want to hop over there, that's cool.
That was actually a worthwhile interruption. For once, Winnie's boyfriend/husband has interrupted with something worthwhile rather than, mini syllables.
And Chris, yes, there is a Discord in the community. It's a COD Discord. If one of the mods can put a link in, that'd be great.
That would be great. So
anyway, guys,
where is the hang up on Skype? all right, guys. In all seriousness now, thank you very much. Anything you want to say before we go, mate? You got some cool stuff coming up, or?
I hopefully will be streaming with CyberSqueak at some time this week, and then you and I have to start in on our Jordan Kennedy stream.
We are. We haven't figured out the day yet, but this week we're going.
Maybe later this week we'll at least start
that absolute clusterfuck of a stream of Jordan and Kennedy, which I'm really looking forward to because it is verbal diarrhea. It is incredible.
Yes.
All right, guys. So yes, head over to Wes's streams. Wes's streams are always incredible. I'll be there. Winnie's boyfriend/husband's probably about to fall asleep because it's late and he's a little baby. And cool. So don't forget to delete your archives.
Bye.